This isn't how Stanley used to work. Before now, the graduate of fine and applied arts worked like regular artists with oil or acrylic on canvas, but now the oil and acrylic have been dropped, but he's still creating beautiful pieces. He's made over 300 pieces in the method and now selling multiple copies of each piece around the world.
If you never used to take it seriously, I think it's very important to start taking it very seriously. Right now, we also heard what happened in Florida, the flood. We also, even in Texas, well, let me know, even back in Africa here, I mean, go to Benue State, so you heard about the river that, burst loose the bank and then wiped off a whole lot of crops and people lost their homes and all that. And the one that happened even in Onisha. So many things. These things are happening, and it's difficult for people to understand it because they don't know what's going on, and so some think it's just normal. I mean, this is weather. I mean, this is nature, Mother Nature hitting us bad, But the truth about it is that we've abused the environment so much that, I mean, our environment is fighting us back. When I say environment, I mean nature. I mean nature. The entire circle is tipping the balance. We're tipping entire balance off, in the entire creation of its balance, and we can't live in isolation. So everybody it should be a thing of concern for everybody.
Stanley wants the rest of the world to remember the importance of catering to the needs of our environment, so he took to what he thought would be a viable vehicle: music.
Tell me, have you really ever seen the sparkling on the midnight sea? What a paradise of peace.
If you don't accept what I'm saying, you accept the way I'm saying it. So if you don't, some people listen to my music and they just dance to it, or they just listen to the melody. But there's no way you can swallow a pill. That's why I say I encapsulate it. I put entertainment over my message. So I make it so irresistible. You just have to listen to it. The question, the subject of climate change, environment protection, and all those things are not things that are well celebrated here, because the average person in this part of the world, it's more interested in survival than because of the poverty, than how to protect his environment. So if it comes to survival, which I think, if you ask me sincerely, I think it's more important to survive, than to protect your environment.
Serenity cuddles my hands, my fingers tremble. Behind the mangroves of Ogoni, a shadow of looming monster. There's oil over my face.
He's done several songs and poems to encourage more people to pay attention to the environment. The songs have focused on specific issues, from water and drought to the indiscriminate felling of trees, to the loss of Africa's animal population, oil pollution, and to the oil spill in the Niger Delta.
There are faces everywhere, numbed like the greasy lakes they mourn. Fathers, mothers, and helpless children on a receding path of time. Was it Warder Brothers this evil? No! Maybe yes. A war of the frozen hearts of greed, between good and bad, right and wrong, rich and the poor, power and the appetite for it, oil for the sake of money, energy stolen from the powerless.
It's just a way we need to find a common space, to do these things. Because if you come to a place in Africa where we don't have anything like conservation, means of conservation, you make your produce today, you produce your farm today, and you finish almost the whatever you produce in the next season, and you are telling the person not to cut down trees to create his barn where he's going to hang his yam. He might not really understand. So it's enlightenment, it's education. So I think over time, we are going to find a balance. We as human beings are also as important as the nature we find ourselves in. That's the environment we find ourselves in as well. So we need to, create a balance, which is what I'm actually advocating for. There must be a balance between man and nature. None must cheat the other.
The more we cut the trees, the hotter it go be.
Although one of his songs got him an award, not many people have taken to his kind of music, but that has not weighed him down.
If it dey hot, they go know what we go see.
People think I'm talking from the Mars. What are you talking about? If water can't go, now waiting we go do. Like seriously, there's always rain. And even if it doesn't rain, we just pray and God is going to release it. So the environment I found myself is not such that I have actually understood the importance. So is that acceptability, acceptance, being able to communicate and my audience absorb what I'm communicating fully, as something that is very, very important. So that's my biggest challenge. And it also goes to affect people investing in what I'm doing, supporting what I'm doing, because you really need funds to enlighten this. For instance, the dream I had about my Northern project, like the water, actually talking to the people in the North about, I didn't move it to the scale that I actually wanted to move it, because I didn't find people that could support, the movement. I put it in song, I sent the music to Northern, they played it in the radio stations, but I wanted something more than that. I needed a platform where I can actually back up that music project with seminars, talk to people, enlighten them, So it's more like a campaign that I'm doing, and yeah, the challenges are just the acceptability and support because of my environment.
Straight up, this is music on the go. Afro fusion, my brother and I so love it, hate it. She make her they go, she make her they go. Waters are dragging no faster, cause the water's getting hotter. It's a shame that we to blame, or do we claim it?
Support or not, investment or not, Stanley Aneto is not weighed down. He's still recording songs because the people love his music and the radio and TV stations continue to play them.
Now I'll be down.